Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. And with us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. And then we have our special guest speaker, our VP in Advanced Case Design, a marketer from Securian. So very delighted to have Stephen join us today. You're going to hear him speak on the feature presentation in about 10 minutes. Just want to touch on a few things before we move forward. So, first of all, today's webinar is a little unique. We have a new sales idea or concept that I'm hoping you can use this afternoon to start making more sales. And when you hear about this strategy, it's a win-win and a no-brainer for any consumer, okay? And it's a very easy black and white concept that it's well worth getting your arms wrapped around this. We have never seen anything like this in the industry. So we're very excited to have Securian and Steve here to present. So, long story short, we're going to go over this new sales concept. There's also a new hybrid product. And, Securian and Minnesota Life they're not new to the industry. They've been around over 100 years, A-rated with AM Best. Awesome Comdex rating, very popular with CPAs, financial advisors, estate planning attorneys. Excellent company. They've been with us for a long time as well. Just recently, okay, we have taken a direct IMO contract and moved them into our core carrier space, okay? So when we say core carriers, as you know, we have almost 100 companies on all sides, life, annuity, long-term care, disability. But when we say core companies, these are our main go-to companies. When you think, term, IUL, let's say the specific hybrid product, we want you to think of our core companies and Minnesota Life and Securian, which, by the way, is the same company. You're going to see a lot of the new branding. They go by Securian, and I think they're slowly making that transition from Minnesota Life to Securian. Also have a second-to-none indexed UL that has some really cool features that I think you haven't seen before. So great stuff. We also wanted to kind of do a relaunch with Minnesota Life because we're launching our brand new IUL software, okay? And you'll see some emails in the next week. We finalized everything yesterday, so great news there. And what's so neat is with Minnesota Life's IUL, it works perfect with the new sales presentation system with our IUL software. So it's really, really cool stuff, and it's very important that you have your arms wrapped around these products because, like I said, they're very, very different from the competition. And, of course, we want to make you stand out. We want your consumer to get a great product. At the end of the day, it's a win-win-win. Okay, so we're going to give away a free tablet to the 100th registrant. We'll announce the winner at the end of today's presentation. Will be done right before 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to start off here and do things a little differently. So we have a testimonial that just came in yesterday. And, we get, I hate to sound conceited, but we get a lot of testimonials and good comments. Okay, we're not perfect by any means. There's also a few negative comments here and there, which obviously we do what we can and fix that situation and we make them right. But we get our positive comments and testimonials, and they far outweigh, of course, the negative stuff. So this one that came in yesterday from Adam, and I won't mention his last name. I know he's on the call today. I was really touched by this, and we're out there, we're on these webinars, and we're constantly talking not only about life insurance and annuities, but how to stay motivated, how to make sure when you're talking or selling that you're in the right mindset. It's so important, and at the end of the day, yes, the commissions are important, but it's more about helping these families, okay? That's the name of the game. That's why we all do what we do, and we're successful at it, okay? At the end of the day, it's helping families, God forbid, of an emergency situation. So when I saw this testimonial, I told Joe, I said, we have to share this with our agents. And I'm going to run through this pretty quickly because it's a lot to talk about. This is also on our website and our Facebook business page, so you can check it out there. But I'm going to go over this briefly, and then we're going to show our quick monthly update video that's going to run for a few minutes, and then we're going to introduce our feature presenter. Okay, so real quick, this is from Adam. Like I said, I almost decided to leave the business because I was so frustrated. I'm the type of person that I have the drive to be successful, but just wasn't getting the support I need. Okay, sounds very common. Then I was introduced by Levinson at the end of December of 2017. I was amazed on how supportive and how much they actually care about their agents being successful. I could feel the passion and sincerity in Bill Levinson's voice on these recorded webinars, which, by the way, that's what we're all on right now. I subscribed to the YouTube channel and started listening to all the audio webinars on my way to work, my current day job while building my insurance business. I basically turned my car into a rolling university. I have 35 minutes each way to work and want to utilize that time to improve my knowledge so I can build a successful business. Now, that's what I've been saying since day one. You're in the car 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Let me download that Audible app where you can listen to these audiobooks, right, with business strategies or personal development. Use that time effectively. This guy is using it and listening to our webinars. I mean, it's great. He's using the YouTube app and listening to all of our past webinars. It's just awesome. I love this. So in the middle section there, I feel it doesn't matter how good you are. There's always room for improvement. And most important, staying up to date with technology, which Levinson is doing. I'm so impressed with the staff and support I have been receiving from Levinson. If I get stuck and have a question, I just pick up the phone and call. I feel like I have gained more knowledge about the insurance industry in the last 2 months working with Levinson than I have the previous 6 months with other companies. Not to mention, I have written 4 policies in the last 30 days with Levinson. I know I'm going to be successful with this company. It's a combination of support and tools they provide to help their agents be successful. I would like to thank Levinson and Associates for this great opportunity that has been provided to me. So here, this came from the heart, okay? And we're going to invite Adam to speak on our next webinar because I want everyone to hear it from him. And like I said, we're not perfect, but we go out there and try every single day to find the latest technology, tools, sales ideas, concepts to help you succeed in this business, okay? That's the goal. That's the name of the game. And that's exactly what we're doing today by bringing Stephen in Minnesota Life to our webinar to talk about some real unique strategies in the industry. Okay, moving forward and along those lines, okay, we just launched the new Levinson Playbook, okay? We had a few comments, and like I said, we did have some negative comments. We're not perfect. Some people said, you know, Bill, we love what you're doing, but there's so many tools and programs. I don't know where to begin. It could be a bit overwhelming. So the answer was the Levinson Playbook. Joe's going to touch on this and explain exactly how this works. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So the Playbook is a really, really neat tool that's now available on CarrieLevinson.com. The way that this works is we've actually kind of put together all the different parts of the iGenius platform. This is your all-in-one interactive guide to all the different tools, platforms, resources that are actually available to you as a Levinson agent. So you'll see kind of a quick screenshot of it here. We will email it out at the end of today's webinar in the email that you receive. And basically, you'll be able to read each section, click on the More Information button, and as you click on that button to learn more information, it'll actually bring you to a separate landing page that'll dive into maybe the long-term care center or the e-contracting portal or any one of those number of tools. You'll be able to really dive in and learn more information. But what's so great is you can view all this information that's part of that Levinson Playbook on one simple PDF on one page and then dive into all those items as you move forward. So we're really, really happy to provide that product. Again, it's available on CarrieLevinson.com. We will be emailing out a copy as well. I do want to talk about some of those items that are part of that infographic. We've come out with a lot of new platforms, a lot of new technology for this year, 2018. I just want to list a couple and you'll see them listed inside of that infographic. So the first is our brand new IUL sales software tool. This is really a revolutionary tool to really kind of help you sell Index Universal Life. We've dealt with a lot of different software companies throughout the years. This is by far, in the 12 years that I've been involved in the life insurance industry, this is one of the, hands down, the best software platforms to help you sell Index Universal Life. It breaks down the product, explains it to the client, even gives you some presentation material, not only to present to individuals, but also to groups. If you're doing a seminar and maybe using our scholarship platform to get people in the door, you can dive into that IUL product and really show the client all the advantages. The second bullet here is the LevinsonLeadProgram.com, brand new website we launched. This website was specifically designed to put together all the different lead platforms, the discounted lead programs, whether it be final expense, mortgage protection, the live transfer lead program. All those details are in one spot. It's LevinsonLeadProgram.com. You can go there and learn about all those different lead programs and even order those leads directly through that platform. Again, every single one of those lead programs has a co-op discounted price for Levinson agents. Just beneath that, Agency Automator version 2.0. This is launching this month. We basically took our CRM platform, which is client relationship management platform that not only keeps you in touch and on track with all of your clients. It has a built-in email marketing system, and it also has a prospecting tool which allows you to access 1,000 new leads every single month. Version 2.0 includes a virtual assistant, so you can actually have someone in the background give them instructions. They'll actually help you design all of your email marketing campaigns and generate additional leads and prospects within your own zip codes or within a certain mile radius of wherever your office is. So it's a great platform to use. Again, Agency Automator 2.0. Also, our peak sales training events. We just had the second of a 3-part series, which was actually on Index Universal Life. We have the third part coming up at the 2018 Levinson Annual Expo. It's actually going to be presented and co-hosted by Joe Ross. So we have some great presentation material to help you explain living benefits, Index Universal Life, and also some of the new tax rules that are now in effect and that are going to be coming out for next year, all on capitalizing on generating new leads and new opportunities around those platforms. Also, we've got some great updates on CarrieLevinson.com to the case status portal where you can view all your cases in real time. In addition to that, you'll notice on CarrieLevinson.com, if you go to the quoting tab, our new and improved quoting tools allow you to actually run quotes up to 5 times faster, view multiple death benefits, multiple term lengths in real time. So we're very, very impressed with that platform. Again, that's on CarrieLevinson.com, and all those updates are available now.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. All right, we're going to start in just a second here. This is the new iGenius IUL software presentation system. Now, this will be available at no charge, okay, as long as you're an active agent with us. And we'll put in all details in the email that goes out today to all attendees. So this makes selling IUL so much easier than how it was, years ago. And you had 20 illustration pages and you had no idea what page was what. Your client was obviously lost. This is like a one-pager that breaks everything down for you, shows you upside, downside, what the tax advantages, penalties look like, and at the end of the day, what does your retirement look like versus your existing or future retirement product. So you literally, if you're, say, a 3rd bedroom term kind of agent, which is also great, by the way, and you want to start getting into IUL sales, this simplifies everything. There's even a seminar or webinar presentation system that is turnkey that we literally give you at no charge, co-brand it for you, and it gives you all of your PowerPoints, everything that you need to conduct a full IUL presentation, either via webinar or face-to-face in a, let's say a Ponderosa or Ruth Chris or a convention hall. You pick it. We supply all of the material for you. So really cool stuff for IUL sales, which falls into exactly what we're presenting today. So without further ado, I would like to take a second and introduce our latest core carrier, Minnesota Life, now known as Securian. We have Stephen Summer, who is head of independent distribution. Steve, you there?
I am. And thank you. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. It's great to be working with you. And I've got a list of here things that wanted to be touched on in this meeting, so I'm going to go through them the best I can. I don't have a PowerPoint that covers each and every one of them individually, so I'm going to have to jump around a little bit. So bear with me as we do this, as we go through it. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, we're okay. Good, Steve.
Perfect, good. First thing I've got on the screen really is just to kind of touch base a little bit about the financial strength of the company. We have been in business since 1880, so we've been around a long time, obviously, and we are have mutual heritage. And one of the things that we look at, obviously, when we look at new companies and who to work with is the structure of the company, how do they treat their policyholders, as well as their financial strength. And as you can see by looking at the slide that I have on the screen right now, you can see this is actually a capital and surplus to liabilities. So this shows how much we have in comparison to what we consider our core competition out there in the marketplace, where we're sitting as far as surplus to our liabilities. And so that kind of gives you an idea of where we're sitting right now with excess capital above and beyond what we need available to meet our needs, our liabilities, and so on. Just over 21% in additional above and beyond. And then it also gets into the financial strength here. As you can see, A+ rated. We are AA3 by Moody's. We're A+ by Standard & Poor's, and AA very strong by Fitch. All of these, all four rating companies within the last about 11 months have reviewed our financials, have been in our building, or we've been out to see them, and they've all reaffirmed all of our ratings very recently. So, and we are one of the few companies out there that actually go to the effort of having all four rating companies take a look at us. So it's another thing that kind of sets us apart from many of the other life carriers and so on. So I wanted to kind of point that out as to start out with. And then also you'd talked a little bit about, mentioned the chronic illness conversion rider. And so I'm going to get into this particular rider and kind of talk to you a little bit about when you want to present it and position it. We're having great success with this among financial advisors. As Bill said, it's new to the market, and it's unique to us. We are the only company that has it, and it is a chronic illness conversion rider that's available on our term policies. And so what that means is that the client can go ahead and purchase life insurance, a term policy. Let's say a 50-year-old, as an example, can purchase a 20-year level term with the chronic illness conversion rider on it. What that's going to do is they're going to get locked in at their underwriting class at 50 on both the life insurance risk as well as the chronic illness risk, the long-term care risk, if you will. And we are going to be able to, they're going to be able to convert down the line if they decide that they want to one of our products, our permanent products that have the chronic illness rider on it. So it's a great way, an inexpensive way for a client to manage that potential risk. If they start having some health issues down the line, they're able to go ahead and convert. In fact, they're able to convert even if they're currently receiving care. So if something happens where they end up having a stroke, they have this term policy, they end up having a health condition, whatever the case is, and they need care immediately, they can go ahead contractually and convert to one of our permanent policies that has a chronic illness conversion rider on it and go on claim immediately and start receiving benefits.
Yep. So, Steve, can I mention one
sure.
thing? I hate to interrupt you. I know Steve obviously works with the carrier. We're a IMO, so I can just say one thing a little out of the box. Great example. Had an agent call a couple days ago and needed a term quote for a 45 female $1 million 20-year term, and Minnesota Life came up #2 at preferred. So second best class, #2 out of all brokerage carriers, which, by the way, says a lot within itself. But when the agent and consumer heard that they can't convert to a permanent product with Minnesota Life, right, if there's a chronic illness trigger, or if not even, okay, but if there is, convert and then exercise that right for acceleration, and it's a win-win lay-down sale against any vanilla term product. And I don't know of another carrier product that has this same option. So it's huge, and it's not priced crazy where they price themselves out of the market. In fact, in this case, it was #2. So, okay, Steve, I just wanted to tell you a real-world statistic there. That's all.
Well, yeah, and I appreciate you adding that because, you know, that those are the things that help position the product, is the real-world ideas and strategies around it. And we are competitive on our term, and as was pointed out by Bill, we want to be in that marketplace. We're a competitive term company. There are a couple of other companies out there, depending on who you're comparing us to, that do offer lower term rates, depending on the cell and underwriting class and so on of that individual that you're working with. However, when you compare us to the companies that actually have strong conversion privileges like ours, our term clients can convert to any of our permanent policies that we have on the shelf. So if they decide at the time they want to convert that whole life is the way for them to go, or if it's IUL, that's the way for them to go, or UL, whatever they decide, them and their advisor at the time decide is the best fit for them, they have access to the contracts that are currently being marketed. The companies that consistently come in a little bit lower than we do on term typically have no conversion option, or they have a conversion option into a specific product that they have for conversions that they don't even market because, quite frankly, it's not competitive. And so, I mean, it's just there for the conversions. And if they actually tried to sell any of it, nobody would sell it because it's really a very uncompetitive product. So that does kind of set us apart. That's our real value proposition on the term, is that yes, we're going to be competitive. Are we going to be the least expensive? In most cases, we're not going to be the lowest premium, but we're certainly going to be in the bottom. I mean, we're going to be one of the most competitive out of the group that you're looking at. And then when you throw on the benefits that we offer, it certainly outweighs the cost. And another example to kind of add on to what Bill pointed out, a 50-year-old male that is at preferred could get a $300,000 term policy from us on a 20-year level term for $749 a year with this chronic illness conversion rider. Without it, it's $701. So basically the client is paying like $48 a year to be able to have that safety net of being able to protect themselves from what could be a very expensive long-term care cost, health cost concern. And of course, that is one of the main concerns that people have. What's growing right now in the marketplace is IUL policies that have long-term care chronic illness riders on them. Those are the main thing that's growing, as well as linked benefit. And I'm going to touch a little bit on our secure care product as we go through this presentation today. But you know, also I know that we have a specific wholesaler that works with you, that's going to be able to help you with that product as well. So I'm going to touch on it though, and kind of let you know what's happening with that product as far as how it lines up in the marketplace. So that is the one thing one of the things that we wanted to touch on today is that chronic illness conversion rider, the fact that we're the only company that has it, and it certainly opens up a big market for everybody here on the call. The other area that we've come a long way in the last 18 months really is our accelerated underwriting program. And I know that it's really caught on. People love it. There's been stories where you write a policy and you get paid 2 weeks later, which is almost unheard of in the life insurance business because of the fact that this accelerated underwriting program can really turn things around quickly. Our typical turnaround time is somewhere between 48 and 72 hours that we can get an underwriting decision. Go ahead and issue the policy a day or so later, and like I say, you're getting paid on a policy that you wrote a week or two ago. You're getting paid the following week. So it's really made a big difference in the industry. I always joke when I'm with the underwriters of our company, it seems like nothing happened in underwriting for 40 years. And then in the last 24 months, there's been a lot of innovation. But basically what we have is we have a program, we call it Right Fit. And the Right Fit Express is for policies that are $250,000 and under, in which case that you would go ahead and apply for those by e-app. And typically you're going to either get an approval within 24 hours of us receiving it. So if once you hit send, the client signs off on that e-app, and then you as the advisor get it back and then forward it to us. So again, it's usually about 48 hours that you're going to turn around and get an offer. There's no exam, labs. You're going to get standard or better. Classes are available, and so that's basically the way that works. And then we also have what we call Right Fit, which is you can choose between either the traditional underwriting or the Right Fit, and that goes up to $1 million on the single life products. And I've got a slide here, the back side of this slide I'm going to show you here in a minute that kind of outlines the products, cutoffs, and so on. But it's designed really for your clients that are 18 to 54 that are healthy, that you feel are well within line as far as build and everything goes. Go ahead and send those in. Those are typically 48 to 72 hour turnaround, as I mentioned. And we're looking at standard or better offers. And you can go with either paper app or you can go with the e-app. And again, once we get through all of the telephone interview and we review all the work, you're going to be getting an offer typically within 72 hours of all of that work being done. So we're not going to be having to set up, have somebody go out to their house to do any lab work. We're not going to have to do any of that stuff. It's just strictly a phone interview, and then we're going to be pulling a medical information bureau to confirm what they've said, as well as a few other things that are available electronically, prescription drug check and so on, and then we're going to go ahead and approve it. One of the things that sort of a combination, I think, because what I'm going to do when I'm done with this is I'm going to send out, to Bill and Joe, I'm going to send the field underwriting stuff out that kind of outlines that. I think we do a real good job educating the advisors on what qualifies and what doesn't. And because of that, we're actually leading the industry with over 60% of the policies that are applied for on the Right Fit program are going through that, and 40% are not, just a little less than 40% are not making it through. They're getting thrown through traditional underwriting, which is another nice aspect there, is that it's not just a dead case at that point. It's just simply it just doesn't qualify for the express because we found some health issues or whatever, and so they're going to have to go through traditional underwriting. So that, again, that separates us. Some of the competitors, if they don't go through, they simply get dropped. But at just over 60%, we are leading the marketplace in that. So it's a good thing. And here's the different products and ages that qualify for the two different programs, the Express program and the regular Right Fit program, and the underwriting classes that they qualify for. So again, very innovative. It's been very, very successful for us, and it's really speeding up the entire process, which is helping the advisor, and it's a lot less evasive for the client. And so we've had great success with it. So I wanted to point that out. one of the other things that we were looking to talk a little bit about is the Secure Care contract, and kind of want to touch on the Secure Care contract a little bit and what that has to offer. This is our entrance to the linked benefit market, if you will. There's a lot of other contracts out there. There's a few other companies that have these, like Lincoln and PAC and Nationwide and so on. And ours is, just so simply put, ours is very competitively priced right now in the marketplace, and the client should get more benefit for their premium dollar with Secure Care than any of what our competitors are offering. And so that's so just keep that in mind when you're working with clients that you feel this might be a good fit for. So again, people's risk is the way that this contract is designed is for people to help them not worry about outliving their money and obviously protect against the high cost of health care, taking care of that. Retirement income, blind spots that people are concerned about, chronic illness, terminal illness, and untimely death. And this particular contract covers all of those. A little bit of information, as most people probably know here, is that traditional nursing home plans that were very, very popular back in the 80s and 90s and so on are now have kind of become very, very expensive to maintain for these insurance companies. There's a lot of reasons for that. They were priced originally with the idea that the average length of care was about 12, 13 months back then. But with the advances in healthcare, people are living 30 to 35 months is the average stay now in a facility. So obviously the number of months that people are on claim is dramatically larger than was priced for originally. And on top of that, not to get political, but I mean, really the health insurance has been running unchecked for so many years. The cost of health care, I should say, has been running unchecked. You look at what the doctors and hospitals and prescription drug companies are charging, and the fact that they continue to increase those by 3 to 5 times the rate of inflation year in and year out, thinking that it's just never going to end. And so that, of course, certainly hurt these companies that are holding on to those long-term care products. So now these hybrid products have come out to help people with their long-term care expenditures. So we have competitors, of course, that are exiting the traditional marketplace. There's been a lot of rate increases, as I mentioned, on policies, and now the change in the linked benefit, because one of the ways that the insurance companies can get around many of the issues that have taken place is by putting a stop loss on how much coverage they offer. And so the linked benefit is there because it's actually putting a stop loss on how much the company is on the hook for. If the person purchases a $300,000 benefit, then they know that they're getting a $300,000 pool of money to use and so on. And it's not going to turn out to be $1 million hit to the company, so they can price it more accordingly. And then, of course, we all know the information about the number of people who are going to need long-term care. It's staggering as far as the percentages of people who need it. And chronic illness, obviously, can cause a lot of issues in somebody's life. They need somebody to help take care of them. And so the end result is that they definitely need care. And what we look at is how do we define a chronic illness? One of the 2 out of the daily 6 activities that they can't do any longer, or they're suffering from an impairment of dementia or Alzheimer's. Chronic diseases obviously are a big issue. 6 of the top 10 causes of death are from chronic diseases. So those play a factor in the current product lineup. Of course, we have the long-term care agreement on many of our on our life insurance product. We also have the chronic illness rider available, as we talked about a little bit, on our life insurance policies. And I do have a couple slides that I can kind of show you a comparison about what's available there. And so then we also have the chronic illness conversion rider that we talked about, and now we have the linked benefit contract, the Secure Care, which is very, very competitive. Kind of shows that what we've done over the years as far as long-term care and where we are right now. We're committed to that marketplace, as again, it's a growing segment, as I mentioned earlier, in the market, and so we want to definitely be a player in that. Licensing requirements for chronic illness is just a life license. If you're selling long-term care, then you have to have the additional training. Of course, everybody on the call is, I'm sure, aware of that. The Secure Care is a linked benefit. Currently, we have a single premium option available, but we're going to be adding multi-pay options by, I believe it's already been filed, so we're just waiting for the approvals. Probably by the end of April or first part of May that we'll have like a 5, 7, 10, and 15-year pay. It's on a guaranteed IUL chassis with a 4% rate, and does have a return of premium benefit, and you can see the face amount offering of $50,000 to $750,000, the ages that are available. There's a 90-day elimination period, and there's a different extension agreements that are available, similar to what else is out there on the marketplace. So it's very competitively priced, but also similar to what everybody's used to out in the marketplace as far as extension agreements go, and what's available out there. Also, we have the inflationary agreement options, which are pretty similar to what other folks have out there. The one thing that we do have, a couple things that we do have that are different than many of them, is that first of all, our benefit is indemnity rather than reimbursement, which is a huge competitive advantage out there when you're dealing with people that are looking at these kind of benefits. Reimbursement is a real hassle for the family and insured to be able to do that all the time. So once you can get into an indemnity situation and get those payments coming out, it's a lot more flexibility, a lot less hassle. And the other thing that we also do is we have benefits for outside of the USA. 50% of the monthly benefit is available. So that is something that if people end up retiring somewhere else, they can still take advantage of this. And again, that's somewhat of a competitive advantage because a couple of the others companies do not offer that. So we have a streamlined underwriting. What we do is we tell you with the Secure Care product to go ahead and do the paper app or the e-app, get it sent in, but do not send anything else in with it. Let us handle everything, because what it'll do is clog everything up if APSs are sent along with it. And so what we're doing is we're kind of telling everybody to just send in the application, and then let us do the underwriting and order the stuff after the fact, because there's a chance that they're going to just do the tele-interview and script check and MIB, and we're only going to order an APS for cause. And so there's some situations where people have tried to be forthcoming and have sent in a whole bunch of information ahead of time, and the policy would have flown through and would have been issued in 3 or 4 days, but because that other information was sent in, it slowed everything up dramatically. So we have underwriting classes of tobacco and non-tobacco, and we do offer a couples discount, but not each person does not have to buy it. We still give the couples discount if they have a significant other in their lives, with the idea that that significant other is likely going to pitch in and help out, so the person won't have to go on claim as quickly. So there is a discount there as far as it goes. The eligibility benefits, again, similar to what you're probably all used to, is that the inability to perform 2 out of the daily ADLs. So that's what's going to be the triggering effect there. Need to have a plan and care and we need to show $1 or more worth of loss in the first month, and then after that, it's all taken care of because it's indemnity. So we're going to continue to send that benefit to them moving forward, and they can spend the money however they need to or want to. So again, just as I mentioned earlier, we're going to want to, when you're looking at the competition, you're going to want to think that we're going to be offering the highest benefit for the premium dollar right now. And how we are doing that really is because we are using this as a way to diversify our risk portfolio here at Securian. And many of these other companies have billions of dollars worth of these policies already on the books, and many of them have been tweaking the policies to try to lower the benefit amounts and so that they're more profitable than the initial products that they put out there, and or to slow down flows because they really don't want to continue to take on as much risk as they have been over the last 8 or 10 years. And so we're coming in at the right time. We've designed the product to take the best features of all the competition and then to be able to come in and be extremely competitively priced going from there. And so we have a couple comparisons. Here's a female, just to kind of show you how we stack up against 3 of our major competitors, Securian being the far left column. You can see the benefit amount for $100,000 going in, what a 60-year-old female would get on tobacco is in comparison to what she would get with the other companies. And then here's the same thing for a 60-year-old male with the same $100,000 going in, where we stack up for the comparison with the other companies. So it's designed again to provide the highest benefit for the premium dollar. And so that's really the marketing message. Again, the three ways to get their money. They get the long-term care at death or return of premium. That is one of the things that the features that some people seem to like about these contracts is that they do offer a return of premium. So really the only choices that the client have to worry about is how much premium do I want to pay, how long do I want the benefit to last, and do I want to add an inflationary factor to it. So that is that's that particular product, and again, it's one of our fastest launches out there, and it was one of the things here that we're on the list to touch bases on here today. And then what was here? There was one other thing I wanted to show.
And I'll also mention, Steve, that that product that he just went over, the Secure Care, for any type of linked benefit, hybrid product, long-term care, standalone policy, that Secure Care is the way to go. It's literally knocking everything out of the park right now. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow from a competitor, but today that product is the most competitive. So definitely give us a call and we can run an illustration for you, and we'll show you exactly how it stacks up. Okay, Steve.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And there is let me take a look here and see. I had it loaded up, and it looks like it got dropped out of there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of talk a little bit about that. We talked about the chronic illness conversion. We talked about right fit. I've got a couple of other sales ideas that I can share if you'd like. I don't know how we're doing time, but
yeah, we love sales ideas. So anything you can mention, that would be great.
Well, that's my background is the sales, and I've always been one of these individuals that likes to give the client a choice, if you will, and then that's always been my closing technique is to offer them 2 different options and then ask them which one they prefer, and then do the old assumption close and grab the applications of the one they selected and start filling it out and have them stop me, if they can, and then I just ask them, well, I thought this is what you wanted to do, and typically it ends up resulting in a sale liking, being able to give the client, the differences. Let's see what we've got. I wanted to show that, and I wonder if I'm going to be able to find it. I don't know how it got dropped out of there, but there is a difference between. What I'm going to do? I'm going to where. Let me get this one going here.
And by the way, just so everyone knows, we're going to send out an email to all attendees that are on the call, and we'll include some of these brochures, sales ideas. We'll include licensing. Now, keep in mind, too, this is also unique to Levinson. So if you're already appointed, that's no problem. Okay, we can get you set up and match or beat. Most times we can beat your existing commission. Plus, we have cash for contracting incentives, so you'll get at least $100 cash when you write your first app. Best part, and we have a unique arrangement. If you qualify, okay, we can set you up with full annualization with Minnesota. So as long as you qualify, there are some parameters there, but if you're willing, then we can definitely look into getting you set up. Okay, are you ready, Steve?
Yeah, I found the deal. Somehow it dropped off. I had it loaded up, but basically, I wanted to kind of show everybody on the call here today, because this is one of my favorite sales ideas when it comes to positioning, care, long-term care initiative or life insurance with a chronic illness rider. When you're talking with a client about it, this is again my strategy is always to show two different options. One of the options, and one of the fastest growing options, is the linked benefit like Secure Care, and people like it because they can do either a single or an ongoing pay, and no matter what happens, they know that they're going to their family and or they are going to get more back than they ever put into the thing tax free, and so it's really a win-win there too. And as the advisors and a lot of financial advisors will put the numbers to it and actually figure out what the net internal rate of return within the policy is, to be able to show them that instead of leaving money parked in an interest account right now, they're probably far better off using a product like a linked benefit or a life insurance product, because as we know, even though the interest rates have trickled up a little bit here, they're not burning the barns down anymore. So here's two different examples, kind of side by side, to give everybody an idea. If you were, you have a 55-year-old client right now, and if you looked at a linked benefit contract and they had $100,000 that they wanted to invest or could redirect, linked benefit might be a perfect solution for them. In exchange for that $100,000 that they put into that contract right now, they would get a $189,000 death benefit, and they would also get a $378,000 health care bucket. So that's where the leverage is. That's where the sizzle is, because if they ended up having a health care issue and needed long-term care, $100,000 isn't going to go very long nowadays. Quite honestly, the cost of $6,000-8,000 a month is not uncommon for care, and sometimes much larger if depending on what their condition is. And so being able to leverage that up and be able to take that $100,000 and be able to get $378,000 is fantastic. And the monthly benefit that they would typically get in a situation like this would be $7,875. So essentially 4 years is pretty typical. They're going to get $7,875 tax free that they can take out of this until it's gone. The $378,000 is gone. Depending on which company you go with, if you go with us, again, you can get indemnity. If you go with many others, you'll end up with a reimbursement. And there's dollar for dollar. Those withdrawals that come out for care come off dollar for dollar off of the $189,000 death benefit. So, as an example, just to kind of point out, if a client went on claim for 20 months and took the $7,875, they would end up with a remaining death benefit going to the family of $31,510 because they're taking that money, $150,000 off of the 189, so they're going to end up with basically $31,000 left. But they do have return of premium as far as a living benefit goes. and after in the 60th year and beyond, they could get their $100,000 back. There really is no issue there. So there's a benefit to that as well, and many of them feel as though having access to that in case of an emergency is very important, in which case the linked benefit contract would probably be the perfect fit for the client. But then what I like to do is show the client the other option, which would be our GIUL story with the Eclipse Protector with the chronic illness rider, investing the same $100,000 into it. They would end up with an immediate $350,000 death benefit as opposed to the 189. That same 350 would be there for a healthcare bucket that they could pull off of dollar for dollar. But the unique feature there is that they would have access at 4% of the 350,000. They could have access to up to 14,000 a month if they needed it. And so that is gives them more flexibility. If their care becomes very expensive, they can have access to more than just the 78, 75 that the other contract would have. So that gives them, again, more flexibility, the ability to be able to cover more expenses. And it is, of course, indemnity, as I mentioned. And it's dollar for dollar, again, off of the death benefit. So if the client, the insured did take the 70, let's say just using the same 78, 75 for 20 months. So if they went on claim for 20 months, they would end up with a little bit higher death benefit than the starting death benefit with the linked benefit contract. However, there is no return of premium. So there's no guaranteed return of premium. Because it's on an IUL chassis, and if there's decent crediting, even conservative crediting over a 10-year period of time, there's a good chance that the client could have access to even more than their initial premium. However, it's not guaranteed. And so what the client is really giving up in this particular instance is that guaranteed return of premium. So what I like to do is show them both options. I like to show them a linked benefit, a secure care option, and then I like to show them like an Eclipse Protector, and then point out to them the two differences in the products, and then say, which one would you prefer? And as soon as they say, you know what, I like the fact that I'm getting a higher death benefit initially, I like the access to more money monthly, then you grab the application to the Eclipse. If they are looking at the return of premium being the main factor, I really like that idea. If I'm 10, 15 years from now, if I haven't needed the benefit, I might want to grab that $100,000 back to use it for something else. Well, then by all means, they're going to want to use the linked benefit. So giving them the options and then making the close from there is something that I have found to be very, very effective in my sales experience. The other one of the other sales ideas is to look at, we've been number one according to LIMRA for a number of years now with our second to die IUL with the death benefit guarantee. And this is an old strategy. I'll give you this will be a sales idea that I like to call, and I'm sure you may have even heard of other people referring to it as the permission slip idea. But if you have a couple that are in their 50s and they've worked hard and they've saved money and they have some investments and they 401ks and so on, and they're looking forward to their retirement, but they still want to make sure that they can leave their kids some money, grandkids, what have you. They really want to make sure that they're going to leave something. Well, with the guarantee, a death benefit guarantee, there's no smoke and mirrors here. If they invest $85,000 between the time that they're 50 and 65 years old into a $500,000 Eclipse Protector, they're going to have a $500,000 death benefit guarantee that they can go ahead and leave to the family. And so, again, it gives them the permission to be able to do it. And if you're looking at a premium of $5,000 a year on the short pay, that's where you come up with the $85,000. It provides them with that death benefit and the permission slip to be able to go out and do it. So you look at a 15 pay, $85,000 total investment, and you've got a $500,000 death benefit guarantee. If you look at the actual net internal rate of return based on their life expectancy of 50 to about 86, 87 years old, it's about 5.5%. So I don't know where in today's interest rate environment where you can go and park your money and get a guaranteed 5.5% a year on it. It's pretty tough to do. but you can do it right here by using the leverage of a life insurance policy. So again, that's just another sales idea for you. We've been leading the marketplace in these type of sales because of how competitive our Eclipse Survivor Protector is in the marketplace. So I think just another quick and easy story, repeatable story that you can share with clients. And I've got more I can do. So you guys let me know if you need to wrap up.
Yeah, Steve, what we'll do is we'll set up another presentation because we all love sales ideas, and there's never enough, as we know.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll end with this, and then I have a couple other things I'll mention to the group. But I first of all want to thank you, Steve. That was awesome. Great job. We appreciate it. And I know everyone has some great nuggets of information that we can use to make some sales this afternoon. There were some great ideas. We'll include brochures, like I said, in the email that goes out to everyone. Just a couple things. We're going to move pretty quickly here because I want to end in 3 minutes. So we do have a advanced marketing resource section on our website. If you hover over marketing, it says Advanced Marketing Center in blue in the middle. And then you'll see all of our carriers and the links right there at your fingertips. And basically anything you need for advanced case design. Also, Josh Hoffman in our office can help you every step of the way with structuring any type of agreements, life insurance, annuity, 1035s, anything that we need to do, he's here to help. Okay, the Levinson app, by now, I hope you have that downloaded on your phone. If you don't, make sure you do it as soon as we hang up. Don't do it right now, but do it when we hang up the phone. It's a free download for any Apple Android users. Agency Automator is, we're launching the version 2. This will be a game changer. Your free websites that we give all of our agents are being updated. Your CRM tool is being updated. Everything. It's going to be really, really cool, very easy to use. I know everyone will love some of the new updates that we're launching. Okay, the Levinson Expo, by now, I hope you're registered. We already have over 200 agents and GAs registered. It's free, and you can qualify for round-trip airfare, free weekend stay at our beachfront resort that you're looking at in front of you. So make sure that you are registered. We're going to be closing this up in a couple of weeks, so please register from our website, kerrylevinson.com. Okay, and the next slide is our training events that are going on right now. So the Agency Automator, that's our exclusive CRM tool that we put together just for our agents, built for life insurance agents. Every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m., we're hosting our live webinars. Make sure you're on those. These days, without a CRM tool and a website, I hate to say it, but you're falling behind. So we provide everything for you. There's no reason to not get up to speed when it comes to e-marketing and having an online presence. Agency Automator Plus, that's the same thing, but it's built for recruiting. So you can start to build your downline to make some overrides. You can get set up. We have live webinars every Monday, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You can log on to any one of those as many times as you would like and ask questions. Everything is live. Okay, the brand new IUL. So we have a great new IUL product that has 18 living benefit triggers built in. Awesome, awesome tool to go out there and, again, differentiate yourself. We're going to launch this on March 8th. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There's also a term product, same concept, no exam up to $300,000, age 60. So some great new stuff coming out in just the next week or so. Okay, we're going to end with this. Okay, now, first of all, I want to thank everybody. I know we ran a little bit over and everybody hung in there. We have a record number of attendees today, so thank you for that. Real quick, I know we're going to announce our tablet winner, but I want to first go over our Positive Tuesday quote. So this is on our Levinson Facebook page. Every Tuesday, we send out our quote. Now, this is so important, you know, with all these great concepts, and especially with living benefits, long-term care. We talk about IUL, retirement savings, great sales ideas. I don't care if you're literally out there selling platinum or gold or whatever the case is. You have to be in the right mindset, okay? And we all know that, and I go over this every week. But please, okay, this is the reason why we do this every Tuesday. We call it Positive Tuesday, to make sure that you're not slipping backwards, to keep you fresh, keep you focused, do whatever you need to do to stay in that positive mindset, that right place. And only you know what and where that is. So don't cheat yourself. We're going to end with this. Some people may have more talent than you. Some people may have more money than you, but there's no excuse for them to work harder than you. Point behind this is no matter who you're up against, if you outwork them, you'll get the sale every time and be successful and grow your business. We've seen it happen time and time again. Okay, our 100th registrant and tablet winner is Greg R. That's Greg R. Congratulations. We'll mail this out this afternoon. Have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, and great selling. Take care.